Welcome into the show. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Tonight, we're talking about the amazing run of the St. Louis Cardinals into the postseason. The Cardinals' plays of the year are coming up. As the baseball season winds down, the Blue season is about to drop the puck. Former Blue Jamie Rivers has been added as a game analyst for the upcoming season on television. We'll talk it over with Jamie about his expanded role for the upcoming year. Also, Pat Hughes is the longtime voice of the Chicago Cubs, and he has taken a deep dive into the greatest play-by-play voices that baseball has ever seen and heard. How did Jack Buck, Harry Carey, and his newest installment, Bob Costas, become legendary? We'll find out later in the show. Well, it's been a run that has never been seen before in St. Louis and really across Major League Baseball. A winning streak and a September that none of us will soon forget. As we start the show this evening, let's take a look back at the past 6 months of Cardinals baseball. It's the plays of the year in 2021.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Welcome to Busch Stadium for opening day in St. Louis 2021.
It is going to be a privilege to watch this man play baseball day in and day out.
This already looks right, though. Just seeing him wearing the birds on the bat.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Arenado hits it up the middle. Diving stop. So it's a base hit. His first as a Cardinal for Nolan Arenado. Arenado breaks his bat. And a base hit into center. Goldschmidt being waved in. He will score. Nolan Arenado, his first run batted in as a Cardinal, and he's 2 for 2 on opening day. Stand the 3-2. Arenado with a drive. Out to deep left, and his first as a Cardinal. Nolan Arenado, 2-run homer. Number 1 with St. Louis. It's a fly ball. Left side, Arenado racing after it. Oh, he got it! Oh, what a play! Nolan Arenado with his back to the infield. The shift was there. Long way to go. Nolan being Nolan. Oh, what a play! And that one is hit out to right. It's at the wall. Gone! It's a home run. Dylan Carlson. He's still a rookie and already making his impact felt again. Dylan Carlson, 3-run bomb. 6-0 in the first inning for St. Louis. Bases loaded, 3-2 pitch. Carlson, a drive, right center, grand slammer! Dylan Carlson unloads, and a long one into right center. His first career grand slam. 0-2 pitch, and a high fly ball. Carlson gets in a position to throw. Under it, makes the catch, runner tags, throw into third, double play! Yes, sir! A strike to third! Carlson, another outfield assist. Like that. Just like that. Stay fair. Down the right field line. Gone! Off the foul pole. A mid blast to Savannah Carpenter. Let it rip on 3-1. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Lifted in the air. Left center. Robles back. Looks up. Gone! It's a home run! And a frustrated fan. It was there for him to have a souvenir. It's not only a 2-run homer, he missed the ball. And Williams smokes one. Out to center. Gone! Wow! Wow! An absolute rocket out to center. And I'm not sure if that's the fan that dropped the first home run attempt or his father, grandfather. No, it's him. He got it. Yes. He got a souvenir. The first pitch by Wainwright. And with that pitch, Yadier Molina becomes the first catcher in Major League history with 2,000 games caught with one team. Just the sixth catcher overall to get to this incredible milestone, 2,000 games as a catcher. And tonight, Adam Wainwright, Yadier Molina will make history as the starting battery for the Cardinals for the 300th time. High fly ball, lifted into deep left, at the wall, gone! It's a grand slam! It's at the wall, grand slammer! It's off the wall, plays it perfectly. Here's his throw into second, he got him! Oh, what a throw, what a fly! The 1-0 pitch, Lindor, ground ball. It's a double play, and let's go to the 11th. Andrew Knizner off the bench, drives in two. Arenado hits it out to deep left. Redbirds on top here in the 8th. Nootbaar back, and has it! Lars Nootbaar with the catch. Out to left, it is gone! He did it! Right field backing up Carlson. Oh, he caught it! 9 in a row for St. Louis. He got him! 10 consecutive wins. Count them up. 11 straight. Out to left and out of Wrigley. He got him! And it's lucky number 13. Back to back. And we're having a little Friday night fun at Wrigley. It's unbelievable! Unbelievable! Yes! DeYoung goes deep, and the Cardinal fans are going wild in Wrigley. Bader hits it out to deep left. Late inning magic again. Rondon hits it down the left field line. Gone! It's gone! Lined into center. There's Bader. Has it! 17 consecutive wins. The run of 21. And now the St. Louis Cardinals are post-season bound.
An absolutely astounding and incredible year of baseball here in the Gateway City. It's been a remarkable run for the Cardinals, and they'll kick off their postseason run this week. Up next, we'll talk Blues hockey. Jamie Rivers next on Fox 2. Scoops with Danny Mac is brought to you by Schnucks, Lou Hughes, Royal Banks of Missouri, and Ryan Kelly, the home loan expert. Welcome back to the show. Over the years, Blues fans were treated to one of the great voices of hockey in Dan Kelly. Now this year, there will be a new voice at times in the television broadcast booth, the former Blue, and that's Jamie Rivers. And let's bring in the former defenseman of the St. Louis Blues. And Jamie, first of all, great to see you. What does it mean to you to be added to the broadcast and taking your skills to the TV side?
Well, it's been a long time, in the making. Certainly have enjoyed working with the crew there over at Bally's for quite a number of years now. I had the opportunity to work the Stanley Cup Championship, which was awesome. Being on the pre and post with Scotty and being a part of that was great. And so to be a part of this now in a bigger role and a more regular role is great. Danny, as well as anybody, the crew over there is like family. And it's really fun to show up to work and do that job. And it's a privilege. It's fun to talk hockey, and it's fun to talk Blues hockey.
When you were playing, did you ever imagine or have aspirations to do media, much less be on the Blues games?
I didn't know where it would lead to. But as you know, you were there. You were one of the people covering the team back in the day. I always enjoyed talking to the media. I never had any problems articulating what I wanted to say. And I love talking sports. I love talking hockey. I really love breaking down plays in hockey and certainly situational stuff. That's kind of where I think my biggest strength is being a current coach and still working with a lot of NHL guys, it gives me the opportunity to really have a good feel for what's going on out there. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
How about this season? What do you think about this year's Blues team?
I'm excited. I really am. I think more so than last year, this team resembles a Craig Berube hockey team. Very deep up front with a lot of guys who are more than comfortable getting into the dirty areas, playing that crash and bang style, getting to the front of the net. I think that Robert Thomas and Jordan Kyrou are going to take huge steps forward. I think that they've got the contracts now. They can kind of relax and play more confident. Obviously, you've got the captain, Ryan O'Reilly, David Perron. Those guys are getting better with age. And Braden Shen is another great leader. And Vladimir Tarasenko, you know what? If Big Daddy Vladdy is back into shape and back into where he wants to be, hungry and score goals, you could have a 40-goal scorer again on your hands, and that's always a nice problem to have. So I'm extremely excited about this Blues team. I think that they have a great foundation for something successful, and what they make of it now is up to them.
Well, how important is it to get back to a sense of normalcy with the league? Normal start, normal training camp, and a full year?
Well, hockey players are creatures of habit, right? I mean, you get up at the same time, you go to the rink every day for practice or pregame, you have your nap, your lunch, whatever it is. You're very robotic, I guess, programmed. And so having different scenarios over the last couple of seasons, the bubble for one thing, and then no fans for almost an entire season and having certain protocols, that's just abnormal to the normal hockey player that's been in the league for a number of years, or even young guys coming in at that point. So to have a regular training camp with fans that are going to be in attendance this year and definitely will feel more normal. And I think guys will be able to perform more relaxed. And it's certainly, I think, for these guys will be a better starting point.
How about Jordan Binnington? Can he get back to where he was when the Blues won the Cup?
Yeah, I think so. I think we saw that actually last year. I think the back half of last season, Jordan Binnington was fantastic, and he was a huge reason why the Blues even got into the playoffs. So I'm excited to see what Jordan Binnington can do. This is the first year of his 6-year extension. I think he's got a lot to prove. I think that he knows there are some rumblings out there of people that maybe are like, maybe it was a flash in the pan, not sure. I think Jordan Binnington wants to put that to rest pretty quickly. When Jordan Binnington is playing like he can, he should absolutely be in that conversation. And if that's the case, that's going to bode really well for the St. Louis Blues.
And finally, when you got the phone call and they said, hey, Jamie, we want you to be a part of the Blues telecast, what was your reaction?
I was excited. Like I said, it's been a number of years kind of working with and around the crew and the staff over at Bally's, and it's just an awesome opportunity, and I love talking hockey. I know I said that already. Again, I would love to get into more of breaking down certain plays, get the telestrator out. I know Stouty loves when we work the telestrator over there at Bally's, so it's exciting for me. I was honored at the same time and humbled to be a part of it.
Well, it's great news. Congratulations.
Thanks, Danny.
Up next, speaking of the broadcast booth, we'll do a deep dive on the greatest baseball announcers that have ever been behind the mic for the sport. A visit with Pat Hughes and his project, Baseball Voices, is next on Fox 2 and Scoops with Danny Mac. Welcome back to the show on Fox 2. Well, here in St. Louis, we have had the privilege to hear from some of the greatest baseball play-by-play voices ever. Well, Pat Hughes is the longtime voice of the Cubs, and he has a great appreciation of the craft of calling the game of baseball. Broadcasting, producing it, writing it, he has narrated tributes to the greatest that have ever been behind the mic. BaseballVoices.com is his website, and you'll find remarkable audio of great calls, moments, interviews from those that have provided generations of fans the enjoyment of baseball games. Pat has been kind enough to be a part of the show, and Pat, let's jump right into it. How did Baseball Voices come about for you?
It's an off-season job is basically what it is. Those of us in the baseball announcing business, we have about 4 or 5 months in the off-season. You're always scrambling around to do various jobs, and it was really an off-season job that I was looking for. And I've always loved baseball and broadcasting, and I wanted to improve in that area. So I thought that I would put together commemorative audio tributes to baseball's greatest announcers. I do the producing, the editing, the narrating, and it's a lot of work, but it's very gratifying. The first two that I put together, Dan, as you recall, were Jack Buck and Harry Carey, and the release of those coincided, fortunately for me, in the fall of 2006 when the Cardinals just beat the Tigers in the World Series. So the fans here are very receptive and in a great mood, and they received the CDs very, very well, and that's really how it all began.
And when you think about doing something on Jack Buck, it's so much more than what he did behind the mic, isn't it?
Sure. He was a great public speaker. Everyone loved him here, not just for Cardinal baseball, but he did all kinds of talk shows on the radio, and he did after-dinner speeches. He spoke at every luncheon in town for years and years. And then he did football. He did college football. He did some boxing, in addition to being the great Hall of Fame voice of the Cardinals.
This may be a really tough question for you, but what's been the most enjoyable one that you've had a chance to do?
I would say the Jack Buck was fun. The Harry Carey, because I worked with Harry for a while. I put together one on Bob Uecker. He and I were partners for 12 years. But the latest one that we did, and it's now available at baseballvoices.com, is Bob Costas. And Bob is just an amazing talent. And when you think about Bob, it's obvious, it's given that he's a great baseball announcer. But beyond that, if somebody was to say to you, who's a better broadcaster in the history of America than Bob Costas? And I'm not talking about just sportscasting. I'm talking about newsmen or actors or entertainers or whomever. Is there a better broadcaster in the history of our country than Bob Costas? If there is, Dan, I don't know who it would be.
When you put something, Pat, like this together, how do you find the material? Where do you find it?
Everywhere. It helps if you kind of know what you're looking for before you begin. For example, in the case of Jack Buck, I wanted to include the Ozzie Smith home run in 1985. Go crazy, folks!
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go! Go crazy, folks! Go crazy! It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game by the score of 3-2 on a home run by the Wizard. Go crazy!
You kind of look at his career. Who were the great ball players that he covered? Stan Musial, Bob Gibson, just to name a couple, Lou Brock, Ozzie Smith. So you start looking for highlights that he had called with those guys. Then you start looking at the great teams that these broadcasters have covered. The Cardinals, they were in the World Series 3 times in the 1960s, and then again in 1982 they beat Milwaukee. So you focus on those and get some highlights from the special seasons along with the special ball players. But then you start looking at things like humor and the funny stories with Jack Buck. His after-dinner speeches were classic. I loved him, and he was just a lot of fun to be around. So I tried to include that part of his personality as well.
For your job, I'm curious, you've been doing this a long time in the major leagues. Does it help you? You almost pick up traits of others by osmosis. You pick up little things. Has it helped in your broadcasting?
Absolutely, and that's a great question, Dan. Let's take just the call of Dennis Eckersley and Kirk Gibson. Jack Buck made that call in 1988, the classic home run by Gibson. Now, it's 3-2. Gibson fouls off a bunch of pitches. But here's some technique for a play-by-play man. The last words he says right before the ball is hit, he says, "Here's the pitch from Eckersley. Gibson hits a long drive." So, in other words, the pitcher's name goes right into the batter's name. It's a natural transition.
We have a big 3-2 pitch coming here from Eckersley. Gibson swings and a fly ball to deep right field. This has got to be a home run. Unbelievable! A home run for Gibson. And the Dodgers have won the game 5-4. I don't believe what I just saw.
And I find myself using that now in ball games. The pitch from Kimbrel. Molina lines a base hit. or whatever it is. But it's just little things like that I think that I've picked up on, and the various styles and the different tempo that certain broadcasters have. But yes, I'd like to think that it's helped me immensely.
And I'll wrap it up with this. What do you hope the fans get from this? What do you hope they take away from it?
I think I've always loved listening to baseball highlights, and it makes me feel happy to hear highlights from when I was a kid. 40, 50 years ago, I grew up in the Bay Area, with Russ Hodges and Lon Simmons, two great announcers, and I thought they were the best who ever lived. But when you're 10 years old, you have nobody to compare them to, so no real reference. As I grew up, I realized they were two of the greatest, both Hall of Famers. So I think these are for history. It'll bring back memories. I think it's almost like hearing one of your favorite songs, like the Beatles or the Rolling Stones way back when. You hear that song, and it takes you back to a certain time in your life. So the highlights are fun. They remind you of your favorite players, your favorite teams. The real special thing, Dan, they remind you of a certain time way back when in your life.
Great to see you, Pat. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
For Pat Hughes and Jamie Rivers, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Remember, for great Cardinals content, please log on to the website, scoopswithdannymac.com. That does it for the show. I'll see you next week, right here, Sunday nights on Fox 2.